All right. Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Trevor Smith. This is my brother Brian. We are here for episode one of the Be Him Fit podcast. So, we're gonna do a little bit of an introduction of ourselves, where we're coming from, and then what to expect from our podcast here moving forward. So, I'll let Brian start, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Trev. It's great to be here. Being on a podcast, one, this is the first time I've been on a podcast, but two, it's always been a dream of mine. I think it's so cool. I love the format. I love the platform of a podcast and super excited for what we have in store here. So, like Trevor said, we just thought we were going to introduce ourselves and tell you a little bit about this podcast, this endeavor, what we're hoping, what our goals are, what we're hoping to accomplish, that sort of thing. So, start off, maybe I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in fitness to some degree since probably the time I was honestly 10 years old. I remember, so if I don't remember, I don't know if you remember, but mom had this decline bench in the workout room growing up. And I remember I was probably 10 or 11, and I was like, I need to get into shape. I need to be better. I need to be stronger. I need to be faster, more explosive, all these things, because I had a goal, a dream, a desire to be either a professional football player or a professional baseball player, or in both best of both worlds, a hybrid athlete like Bo Jackson or Deion Sanders.
Right.
And so I remember one night vividly, I took the decline sit up bench into my bedroom with the 10-pound weight that mom had. It was the heaviest plate that she had. And I did 100 decline sit ups. And the next morning, my abs were so sore, I thought I was going to die. I remember to this day, that was 30 years ago, right? And I was just like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? And that kind of started it. And then you get into sports, you get into athletics and high school sports and going to the gym and to weights and all the things. That's just part of it. So probably after my freshman year of football, I started going to the gym religiously every day. And I haven't stopped in however many years that's been, 35 years, 25 years, I don't know, whatever. But I love fitness. I'm so passionate about fitness and the overall satisfaction that it gives you. Being in shape, doing hard things, accomplishing the goals that you've set out, finishing your programs that you've either created or paid someone to create for you it's incredible. I absolutely love it. And so I during high school played football, played college baseball, but throughout all those years, fitness was a huge part of it. Weight training, conditioning, nutrition, trying to be the best version of yourself. And I think that's what's great about being fit and being in shape is it's one of the things that you can't buy, right? You can, if you have money, you can buy the big house and the sports cars and the watches and the trips and all those things. It doesn't matter. But if you're in shape and you're in a good space fitness wise, that's just something you can't buy. That requires commitment, doing hard things. And so that's why I think fitness is so passionate for me, is because it's like no matter what is going on in my life, you can't take away the fact that I am in shape and that I've put in the time and made an effort to go and accomplish my goals, whatever they are, fitness wise.
Right.
So anyway, back in 2018, I decided I'm going to be a fitness coach, right? I love fitness. I know what I'm talking about. I'm passionate about it. So let's try to make that a way where an avenue, I guess, where I can help others see the light and feel good about themselves. And so I've been an online fitness coach for 7, 8 years now. And I just love it. It's a side gig. It's not my main source, but I love helping people. I love putting together fitness plans, programs, whatever you want to call it. And it's been great. It's been such a cool experience. And I think the most rewarding thing about it all is seeing people, number one, transform their physical appearance,
Mhm.
but two, their mental and their emotional, like it, that they feel like they have done so much, right? And then no matter what else the world throws at them, no matter what other challenges they're facing, they know I can do hard things.
Yeah.
I've been committed, I've been dedicated, and these are the results. So I can translates into every other aspect of your life. So anyway, like that. So that's me. That's kind of where I am. And I'm constantly myself hiring coaches. I'm working on my physique, on my mobility, on my strength, all these things. Like, and that's the thing, it's a lifelong pursuit,
Yeah.
right? Rather than just let's get it done, quick fad diet, or let's just go work out for 6 days or 6 weeks or 6 months. No, it's a lifestyle. It definitely is a lifestyle. So,
Right. Well,
but
you and I are opposites. You have been into fitness your entire life, and you were the athletic one, and you would go, I don't remember how old you are, but it was when we were in our old house, and I was maybe 4 or 5, and you would go out and run passing routes in the backyard and stuff like that. That was who you were. That was never who I was.
sure.
Even though I did play baseball and I played Little League football for a while, and that I was more of the out of shape one. My entire existence with fitness was you have to do this because you're getting chub, you're getting overweight. And
Yeah,
so
yeah. Well,
so I remember,
let me pause for 1 second.
yeah,
I think most people feel that way no matter where you are. I'm
right,
feeling that today.
right.
Like
Yeah, it's true.
I tipped the scales today at 209, which
Yeah,
is the heaviest I've ever weighed in my entire life. And it's not a good 209, right? But
right.
anyway, we digress. So go back to what you're saying. Everyone struggles with that.
We all struggle with that. No, I remember dad wanting to wake me up at 5 in the morning so he could have a workout buddy and things like that. And mom enrolled me in karate so that I would have
I remember that.
some sort of athletic thing going on. And you did sports and everything. I did not. And I have had this battle with my weight for as long as I can remember. I remember doing P90X when I was 18 years old and needing that. And then 2 years later, doing the HCG diet and then juicing. And then I went to a month-long fitness retreat and I kept doing that. I would lose weight and then I'd
Yeah.
gain back and some. And then just back and forth until it was about the time you were becoming a fitness coach in December of 2018. I was 310 pounds and needed to have weight loss surgery because our dad told me, he said, Trevor, you are on a trajectory that you can't sustain. You are going to die before I do, and I don't want to bury my son. And so
Hmm.
I was forced to make those changes. And so I had weight loss surgery and then I have managed to lose about 80 pounds, kept that off, and then found the GLP-1, the semaglutide and tirzepatide products that have helped me lose weight. And I have the benefit of once you go through the weight loss surgery, you're supposed to change your lifestyle and figure out how to do all of that and not gain the weight back because unfortunately that's what happens with a lot
Yep.
of people who go through
Yep.
these. And then so I did the tirzepatide injections and lost another 65 pounds and have been able to keep that off in large part because I learned those things talking to I had a dietitian for a while. I had a program that they make you go through when you lose or not lose weight, but when you do the weight loss surgery. And so I was able to, like, talking to you, figure out my macros and figure out how to keep the weight off and have done that for a while. And then about 18 months ago, I started a weight loss clinic in Orem, Utah, and have been helping people with that. And it was mostly the medications, but then after being in the weight loss industry for a year and selling these medications and helping people, I noticed a lot of people were coming back because they were gaining the weight back. Just and so this has led me to a how do we help people lose weight? How can I help people keep it off? I have kept it off. Where what is it that I'm doing? What did they not know that I know? All of these things that have just come up and I don't know. So anyway, that has led me to really explore a lot of different things within the weight loss industry to do really understanding macros or how does exercise help or what dieting, what should you do meal plan wise and
Sure.
how
Yep.
do you lead a healthy life? And that's kind of what has brought you and me together is you're from
Yeah.
your end, I am coming down from my end, but we're both trying to one, get
Right.
ourselves
Like,
to the same
yeah,
place.
we're starting at such different starting points, right? But we have the same goal in mind. And so it's like,
Absolutely.
how do we marry those together and how
Right.
so that it speaks to no matter where you are on that spectrum of super athletic to not being athletic and what being overweight, how do you maintain that?
Right.
Um,
How do you get it together? And then how do we help other people, which is both of our goals is we
yep,
want to help people have healthier lives. And so I'm trying to figure it out, and you have been trying to figure it out. And I think it's going to be an exploration together and a discussion
sure.
between you and me to figure it out together and what works, what doesn't, how can we
Yep.
help people experiences
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. And I think for me, there's not a right way, right? There's not just a one fix all. You follow this plan and you're going to be in the best shape of your life. You're going to feel so great. You're going to have the energy. You're going to all these things like that.
Right.
That's the complexity of the fitness world is a lot of it has to do with what works for you
Right.
and how does your body respond to certain stimuli that
Yep.
allow you to then accomplish your goal, right? For me, what works for me could be completely different than what works for you.
Right.
And so that's where I feel like there's a lot of self-reflection and there's a lot of understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, or things that you can do better, and then taking those and using them to your advantage, right? If
Right.
I were to just say, "Hey, Trev, listen, bro, like, you just need to eat brown rice, chicken breasts, and broccoli 4 or
Yeah.
6 times a day," right? That's not going to work.
No.
Maybe it will, but I know you well enough to know that's not going to work.
We have been down this path before.
Yes, we have.
It's
Right.
not going to work.
And so it's like you have to find something, number one, that you're committed to, number two, that's sustainable
Right.
and that allows you to change your behavior, right? Change your approach. I think one of the things that's not to throw shade on weight loss drugs,
Mhm.
but I think a lot of people see it as a quick fix because you can attest with yourself and with our mom and dad have both been on it. And then the
Right.
many clients you've been able to help. If you go on Ozempic or Tirzepatide or whatever it is, you can lose a lot of weight in a
Yep.
very short amount of time, right?
Absolutely.
But to your point, you hit on this earlier. You have clients coming back because they haven't changed their lifestyle.
Right.
As soon as you get off, you think of the HCG diet and these other things. If you can lose a ton of weight, if that's your goal, like you can get
Yeah.
skinny, you can get thin, you can get lean. But once you stop taking that and you go back to your normal everyday life, you're going to get back. You're like, and if you don't change anything, you're going to go right back to where you were. You may be skinny and it may be a slower process, but eventually you're going to be back in the exact same boat that you were. Right. And so
Absolutely.
I know you and I have partnered a little bit with your business and with nutrition plans and fitness programming, that sort of thing. And I love that approach because if there is a drug or there's a supplement or whatever it is, it's going to help you with your goals, whether that's losing weight, building muscle, whatever it is. That's great. Why not use those? They're there for a reason. It doesn't make sense to not use them.
Right.
But at the same time, it's more than just relying on these drugs and supplements. It's changing your mindset and changing your behaviors so that you're
Absolutely.
not dependent upon those for the rest of your life, but they almost act as a supplement, right? You think
Right.
of a supplement, protein is probably the number one supplement on the market, right? What does the supplement mean? It's helping you get more protein in your diet because you're not able to get enough through other avenues, right?
Right.
And same thing with weight loss drugs or whatever it is. Peptides is a big thing right now that people are jumping on that bandwagon of injecting peptides, which are great. But it's like if you like they're like an accelerant, right? They
Yeah.
just with help you reach your goal faster. But
Yeah.
if you can't go through the process of changing, but also changing in a sustainable way, you're just going to do that yo dieting, which not everybody, but a lot of people struggle with.
Right.
And so I think that's the big, I feel historically that there's these two camps, right, that are just so far apart. And what I like about what you and I are doing or trying to accomplish is we're marrying those two together.
Right.
We're not saying weight loss drugs or Ozempic or peptides or whatever are better than doing it the hard way.
Right.
The maybe not the hard way, but the more not the fastest way,
Right.
right? But we're trying to say let's use that together. How can we create synergy? How can
Right.
we be the most effective with the technology that we have, with the knowledge that we have? How can we put that together and give you the life and help you obtain the goals that you're looking for?
Right. Well, that has been the biggest thing that I have wanted to change about our clinic, and that's why I've been bringing you in and wanting you
Mm-hmm.
to help us with personal training and helping with the macro plans and this weight loss course that I am trying to get up off the ground because the
Right.
entire thing is like I don't want to feel like a drug dealer. And that's what I feel like
Yeah.
right now. It's or you just give you a little tiny bit now, you'll be
Yeah.
back. As far as like a business model goes, you want repeat customers, but that's not
Sure.
my goal.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
goal is if I can help you meet your goals and keep them there, if I can help someone lose weight and they reach their goal weight and they have all the tools they need to keep it off where they didn't before. And that's all I want is to help those people do the same thing that I've been able to do
Sure.
because I've had tons of help to get here. I've had
Mm-hmm.
you, I've had the parents, I've had personal trainers, I've had friends, tons of things have gotten me to where I am. And I
Yep.
want to be able to pass that along. But a lot of people do look at it as a quick fix.
Yeah.
And part of that is because from my side, it is so easy. The
It
medications,
is.
they do work. And if you aren't doing the things to maintain muscle mass, to eat right, to establish good healthy habits, to stay
Yep.
hydrated, goodness, all of these things, you're not going to change anything. You are still the same person that you
Yeah.
were before.
Absolutely. The one it reminded me of one thing that I have a couple of coaches, mentors, whatever you want to call them. One of them that comes to mind, his name's Sean Whalen, and he always says requires radical change, right? So if you want to radically change your body and your wellness, your health, all those things, you have to radically change whatever else it is that's leading you to that point, right?
Right,
Or causing you to stay in the situation that you're trying to get out of.
right,
And so I think I love that quote, and it applies to every aspect of life, but certainly to fitness, certainly to wellness, certainly to your health. Like
absolutely.
if you continue to do the same things day after day, you're not going to see any change.
Right,
If you're eating poorly, if you're not getting enough protein, if you're not sleeping well, if you're not staying hydrated, if you're not exercising and building mass and muscle mass, you're going to stay where you are. You have to make those changes, right? And I
right,
think where again, not to beat a dead horse, but it's like that's where the beauty of where we are with the technologies and the medications and the supplements that we have, there's never been a better time where you can accomplish your goals by
right,
utilizing those, helping them accelerate the process. But at the same time, you have to bring in change in your behaviors and
right,
what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Because
right,
if you use those supplements and you stop using them and you haven't made any changes to your behaviors, you're going to be right back to where you were before you started. That's
right,
just a fact. There's no, I've bet my life on it. That's how it would be for everybody trying to lose weight. If you don't change your behavior and you can't find a way to have that be sustainable, you're going to fall right back into old patterns.
right.
Isn't there a quote? I'm gonna old habits die hard. Is
Yeah,
that the quote? Yeah.
yeah. And it's true. And I think one thing I wanted to explore maybe later on is it doesn't necessarily all have to be at once either.
Sure.
I know I get overwhelmed by I know that I don't exercise, and I know that I need to drink more water, and I know I'm
Yeah,
not getting enough protein, and all of these things, but all of that just gets you overwhelmed. So it's like, well, what can I do? I can make sure I'm going to bed on time. And right now, instead of having three Diet Cokes and two energy drinks to get me through the day, I'll limit myself to one Coke, and then I've got to drink water the rest of the day. And I've been doing
sure.
that, and
Yeah.
I'm still not getting enough water, but I'm getting more than I was, and I'm
Yeah.
building up
Yeah.
and looking forward to it almost rather than
I know I hear you. I find with a lot of my clients, it is overwhelming, right?
Mhm.
And you get a fitness program, they throw it at you, and they're like, you need to be doing cardio 4 or 5 times a week. You need to be abs 3 times a week. You need to be doing this, and you need to be making sure you're getting your macros in, and you're eating healthy, and you're drinking water. It can be overwhelming,
right.
right? And but the thing is, it is a process,
Hmm.
and your body, maybe not your body per se, but you will adapt, right? So let's say I know I should be drinking 100 ounces of water a day, let's say, right?
Right.
But right now I'm probably drinking 20 ounces. I'm not going to just turn around tomorrow and be like, now I got to drink freaking 100 ounces of water. Let's just try to have one more glass,
Right.
one more cup, or let's have a little bit, right? And it's like these
Right.
baby steps. The old adage that the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. It's kind of with fitness, right? If you bite off more than you can chew, to stick with that analogy,
Right.
it's not sustainable. You can't do it.
Right.
So you've got to find little wins every single day where and I think one of the things with fitness and probably every aspect of life is making these little commitments or promises to yourself throughout the day, right?
Yeah.
So like before I go to bed, I usually have I try, I don't do it as often as I should, but I try to plan out the next day
Hmm.
and then come up with 3 to 6 things that are non-negotiable that I'm going to do. To tell myself I'm going to do these 6 things. And they could be simple things. It could be I'm going to get up at 6:30. Great. That's super easy. Nothing
Yeah.
hard. Get up at 6:30. Boom, you check that off, you're done. I'm going to have 32 ounces of water before I have anything else to drink. Cool. Easy, right?
Yeah.
So you have these little tiny goals. And then as you accomplish these goals and keep these commitments and promises to yourself, that's going to spur more. It's going to do something to your mind, to your dopamine. You're going to feel good about yourself. And then you're going to
Right.
have more energy and be able to do more in terms of accomplishing these little steps.
Right.
And then that's 100% how fitness is. Let's just say you set a goal to run a marathon.
Right.
I'm not just going to wake up tomorrow morning and be able to run 26.2 miles. Just not going
Right.
to happen. It's
Right.
not.
No.
Or if I want to lose 40 pounds, it's not going to just happen in the course of 3 or 4 weeks. It's just not.
Right.
But the way that you get to that point, the way that I am able to run 26.2 miles is pace myself, right? I set little goals. Tomorrow, I'm going to get up and I'm going to run whatever it is. Maybe I say, I think I can run 3 miles. Maybe I can only run a mile. Who
Right.
knows? But you set that goal and you work towards it and you accomplish it. And that provides more energy and more resilience to then stretch yourself further. And eventually you'll get to a point where you can run 26.2 miles.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. The thing that I have found is one, like you said, the small goals, but two, it's all about your mindset. You have to know,
mm,
and what one of the things that I've been trying to focus on with my clients, with my other podcast, is that the mindset matters. It's not just I need to lose weight or I need to be able to bench 185 or whatever. It's all about maintaining what you have, not losing what progress you have already made.
sure. Yeah.
I named my other podcast the Weight Loss War podcast because when you lose weight, when you get to your goal weight, that's just the beginning.
Hmm.
It is a battle every day to keep it off, to get healthier, to make more goals, to not lose weight. It is a never-ending balance, but we often think if I just lose 20 pounds, I'll be happy. Well, you lose 20 pounds, then you're not happy. Or in any other aspect. When you and I would golf, and it was like, if I can just get under 90, I'll be happy. If I can just
Right.
fix my slice, I'll be happy. If I can just not four putt, I'll be happy.
Yep.
And you
Yep.
go through all these things, but that's not how it is. You need to keep working on it. You need to keep building, and it's all a step at a time. And so you have this vision of where you want to go, but you don't need to do it all at once.
Sure. Well, I love that. And as you were talking, it reminded me of the thought of it's one step at a time, right? If I'm trying to climb Mount Everest, it's one foot in front of the other. And that's really how any fitness journey would be, right? If I'm trying to compete for a bodybuilding competition, there's certain things. I'll hire a coach, they'll put me on a certain protocol, and
Yep.
there's certain things I have to do every single day, little things
Right.
that are going to eventually get me to my end goal, right? I think a lot of times it's human nature for us to be, listen, I want everything right now. I want in 21 days to lose 30 pounds and to have 8% body fat and just be absolutely ripped, right?
Yep.
Guess what? That's not going to happen.
Right.
But we live in a society where instant gratification is such a big part of our everyday life
Right.
that it bleeds over into other things. That's just not how it works.
Right.
Like, and fitness is that's probably the top of the list of things that requires persistence, dedication, and time, right?
Right.
There's very little instant gratification when it comes to your fitness journey. Whatever your goals are, whether you're trying to put on muscle, whether you're trying to lose fat, whether you want to run a sub 5 minute mile, 6 minute mile, you can't just do that
Right.
overnight.
Right.
It takes behavior change, or again, change requires radical change.
Right.
And so I don't know. I think that that's the challenge that you and I both have, right? With our respective industries, with fitness and weight loss and whatever it is that we're competing constantly against this instant results. We just want it now.
Right.
I don't want to put in the work. I don't want to put in the effort. I want it now.
Right.
Because everything else in our life's that way, right? If I have any question on any subject, I can Google, I can use Chat GPT. If
Yep.
I want food right now, guess what? I can DoorDash and it's going to be here in 25 minutes.
Yep.
Whatever I want, I don't have to put in. Very, very few things require me to put in effort and energy to
Right.
get what I want. And so, because we're conditioned, I feel like that then bleeds into these other aspects where it's just not how things are. No matter how much we want it, instant gratification or quick results or whatever, it's just not in the cards.
Right. It's not. And it's a shame. And this is another tangent, but remember Christmas when we were kids and you looked forward to it, the magazines would come. We didn't have the
Mm,
internet. And so you'd have to circle what you wanted in the magazines and figure it out. And then you either had your birthday or Christmas, and that was when you would get things. Anything you wanted. It was rare when we would go and get anything outside of those two moments. But even like
yeah.
sometimes it is quicker for me to get something off of Amazon than to try and go and find it at the mall or at
Oh,
Target or
easy.
whatever.
Well, again, just reiterating the point, Amazon has created a way where I can get, if I need something tonight, well,
Yep.
maybe not tonight, because what is it, 8 o'clock? But if I need something for tomorrow, I can get overnight shipping where it's going to be here between 4 and 8,
Yep.
4 a.m. and 8 p.m. tomorrow morning. And it's like, awesome. And
Yeah.
so everything's like that. I will admit, a lot of times I'll have groceries delivered. I'll have someone else go do my shopping
Hmm.
and drop it off at my door. And it's like, that's super easy. We're always looking for, I don't know if it's the easy way out, but we're looking for convenience and we're looking for efficiencies
Right.
and synergies. But when it comes to fitness and health and well-being, there aren't many ways where you can create those shortcuts that you
Right.
can in other aspects of your life.
Right.
And what a lot of people don't understand is that that is the case,
Right.
right? They think, well, I can get groceries, I can get food, I can get whatever I need from Amazon in a day.
Right.
But so why can't I get the results that I want? Why can't I be fit? And this kind of goes all the way back to my first little spiel about fitness and where it matters to me. And it's the fact that There's something to be said about somebody that's in shape
Right.
because you can't buy it, you can't fake it, you can't do any of those things. Like
Right.
it, if some dude walks in or some lady walks in the room and they're just absolutely jacked and they're fit, there's a sense of respect there
Right.
because it's you didn't buy that. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care what your background is, what your genetics are, who your parents are, where you live. Like you put in the time and the effort to get there. That's the one thing you can't buy, right? Is a six
Right.
pack or fitness or being in health, being in shape or being able to run a 4 minute mile.
Right.
That's what I love about fitness is it doesn't lie. And
Right.
there's so much you can tell about a person that's in shape and that's committed to their goals. And then it probably, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that's just like coming full circle. That's where we are in today's society is people want things quick. But the reality is with health, nutrition, fitness, it's not a quick fix, to be
No.
honest. It's a lifelong sustained process that you're committed to and you have the discipline to do the things that you need to achieve the goals that you have.
Right. And that's in essence to sum up the entire conversation. That's what you and I are fighting for in our
Yeah.
own lives. And that's the industry we're in, and we're trying to help people realize and make those changes. And that's what this podcast is going to be about, our
Yep.
experiences, what we think, how we can get there, all of that to try and be a positive force, I guess, in this industry where a lot of it is quick fixes or fad diets or whatever, but really there's no substitute for doing the work.
Yeah.
You and I are like you and I said earlier, we're coming from two different sides, but we're seeing the exact same, I don't want to say problem, but we're seeing the exact same that need to be fixed. And so I
Right.
think we're gonna be able to really help a lot of people if we do this.
No, I think one of the questions I always have when I'm listening to a podcast or stumble upon a new podcast, what's the point of this? What are they trying to accomplish?
Right.
And I think for us, it's number one, educating, empowering, giving you the information that you need so that you can be successful in
Right.
whatever your weight loss journey or whether it's weight loss, whatever your fitness journey is, whether it's weight loss, whether it's building muscle, whether it's stamina, endurance, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll provide you all those things from nutrition to workouts to best exercises to all just diving into and exploring the trends and whatever else is out there, all things fitness, right? But
Right.
end of the day, what I hope this podcast does is empower you and enable you to make the decisions that you need to then accomplish your goals.
Right.
And I think that's when it to fitness, when it comes to health, wellness, end of the day, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and own up to wherever you are, right? If you're grossly overweight, you have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, I got myself here. What do I need to do to get to where I want to be? Right. If you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so small, I have no muscle, whatever, it's okay. Well, you've got yourself here. Take responsibility. And then what do I need to do? How can I get to the from point A to point B?
Right.
And my hope with this podcast is that it will provide insight, it'll be educational, it will something, obviously fun. I think there's a lot of things about fitness that we can talk about that are lighthearted and interesting and not just you got to do this, you got to be disciplined, you got to get up and do all these things. That's not what we want. But we
Right.
do want to be educational. We do want it to be enjoyable.
Right.
And end of the day, hoping that something that we say will resonate with our listeners, each one of you. And then you will be able to take that, implement it into your daily life. And that will allow you to better, more easily accomplish the goals that you have around your health and fitness.
Right. I couldn't agree more. I don't have anything to add because that's exactly my same goal. So we're gonna put this out once a week. We're gonna get together and we're gonna talk. We're gonna go over whatever you said, whatever fitness fads are going on, or trends, or exercises, anything that we think needs to be talked about.
Yep.
Anything. And like I said, once a week we'll be posting each episode, and we're excited to be able to one go on this journey together as brothers, but also really we're looking to help other people and give back, and so we're excited.
Absolutely. Yeah. This will be great. We're looking forward to it. We appreciate everyone. Give us a follow, subscribe, whatever those things are. If you have any questions or if there's anything that you want us to specifically talk about, drop it in the comments, reach out to us. We're happy to answer questions, or if there's a topic or a subject that you want to learn more about, hit us up. We're happy to do that. It's there. We don't really have much of an agenda in terms of these are the things we're going to talk about. So if it's anything related to health, fitness, wellness, anything like that, feel free to let us know. And we're happy to have some conversations around that.
Absolutely. How do you have like an email, Be Him Fit email yet, or are you on Instagram? How can they get in
Yeah,
touch with you?
the best way is to follow me at B_him_fit and DM me. I'm working on, I have a few emails, but they're not related to that. So that's probably the best way. If you want to reach out for coaching, for fitness questions, nutrition questions, whatever it is, that's where you can find me, is him_fit on Instagram. DM me, I'll see it and I'll respond for sure. And then we can go from there.
And I don't have I guess you can find me at Weight Loss War Podcast on Instagram. But mostly I say email me at trevor@ultimatemedicalweightloss.com, and I can get back to you. Any questions you have for me about weight loss or health in general. We're not necessarily experts, but we are happy to discuss anything, research anything, and answer any questions that we can.
Absolutely.
All right.
So,
Well, we're going to leave it there for all of y'all. Check us out next week. We'll be back with another episode, and we'll catch you later.
all right. Thanks, Trev. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you.
Later.